Hello, everybody. This is Derek. Today we're going to do something a little bit special. Today is a special day for simple reason that a person that is inspired greatly is having his birthday, and I realize with social distancing and things like that, obviously, days like that, occasions where maybe those would be great reasons to get together, just can't be had. And of course, it kind of forces us to find creative ways to make that happen. I know people do like Zoom or Google Hangouts and things like that. So what I'm going to do today, I guess, as a treat to this person's name is Chris Alaimo at Classic Gaming Quarterly. And before I get into NHL 94, which is kind of, I'll talk more about kind of what that means to me, and I guess kind of how, I guess you could say, I began to have a friendship with Chris. I thought I would, as a special treat, maybe try to give you guys a bit of a walking tour of, I guess, my man cave. I guess you call it your game room tour for those of you in the so I will admit this could be a little bit rough, but I'm going to do my best and I guess try to walk you through it, because I'm actually going to have to carry my little Chromebook as I walk around. So I'm going to give you guys your game room tour. So obviously we're starting here at the screen. I have the sound turned off, and if you guys watch my collection videos, you'll see the table where I basically sat and did all those. And also where my video games are all stored, I guess, at least most of them. And then other parts of my game room, too, that maybe you didn't see, at least directly. So let's start the tour. So I'm going to disconnect my mouse here, and we'll do my best to, because I'm going to have to watch the screen as I do this. So here's, I guess, my main TV screen that you see, obviously. If we we'll kind of start this going this way. So this is actually walking out of my room. When I actually purchased my house, so you come downstairs, and if you look to your, I guess, to your right, you can see my two fridges. Lucky enough, when I actually purchased the house, it came with these, at least it came with the fridge and the freezer, which is awesome. So you can see what would be, looks to me on my right here, this is my, see the one with the Altered Beast and the Blaze of Steel. That's my beer fridge. Lots of fun stuff in there. When I purchased the house, it was actually a wood workshop. And so here it is, as you walk in, you can see I'm definitely a Minnesota Wild fan. My Northeast beer sign, because I'm from Minnesota. You can see Wayne Gretzky up there, Zach Parise. The flag you see in the shadow box there actually was flown over the USS Arizona in Pearl Harbor. My brother brought that back for me as a Christmas present. So there you can see the main screen in my systems, I guess. A little bit messy, definitely a cord hell, but not bad, I guess. You can see where I actually sit and set up and do kind of, I guess, my hosting there. This is actually really kind of hard to do. So start here. This is my, maybe this will work better. So I just kind of set the laptop down, and this is my pinball machine. It is a 1987 Data East laser war machine. This was their first machine that Data East made. They made just under 2,600 of these machines. There's not too many left. You can see the very 80s style spandex. Kind of look at the play field for you. So you can see the play field there. At some point, it's going to make some noise, and you guys are going to hear it a little bit. But there you see it. I haven't really done much to the machine since I purchased it. I did add some super bright lights and some color changing lights to the back glass behind there, but not too much. And so right next to it is my arcade one-up machine. I'll put down my laptop, sorry. And my machine is the one that has Final Fight, 1944, the Loop Master, Ghosts and Goblins, and Strider. It's fun. I mean, it's just like, I guess it kind of my poor man's dream of living the arcade experience. They definitely make it so you can't hack them, at least right now. I've never not tried, and I don't know. It's kind of cool. I purchased this one versus some of the other machines that they offer because I felt it gave the best variety of games. It wasn't just beat 'em ups. It was kind of a variety of different things. It offered some shooters, a platformer, and so that's why I chose that one for me. As we go along, you can see my collection of swords, most of them medieval, Middle Ages, Crusades era, as well as some of my video game marquees. If you look up there, sorry, you can see Contra, Joust, Rampage, and Asteroids. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, so you can see Asteroids. And then over here by my swords, you can see Centipede. As we come around, you can see I have a pizza oven down here. Pretty cool stuff. That isn't a real gun. It's a fake German Sturmgewehr, STG-44. Here you can see my gaming cabinet next to my gun safe. I won't go into that. Not that I'm worried about anything, just because I just don't think it's really relevant. But that's part of my man cave too, I guess. So as we come back around this way, you can see other parts of my video game collection. All my NES games, PlayStation 4, some Genesis, DVDs, and then of course all my Magic the Gathering stuff that I've accumulated over 20 years. Got some other cool stuff that I just want to point out. You can see the little Minnesota thing made out of hockey sticks. That's my brother actually made that. I'm pretty proud of it. He said it was really hard finding wooden sticks. And then the metal cut thing, I can't really say where I got it because I promised I wouldn't. But it came from an individual who was worried about getting sued. So I'll save the innocent there. But it's pretty cool. It's laser cut out of steel, which is it looks pretty good, especially when you put it against, I guess, the cheap fake wood baseboard stuff. Some other hockey stuff here, because I'm a hockey guy. You can see my Minnesota Wild clock, shadow box with a bunch of autographed pucks. You can see my guitar from Guitar Hero. That's a PlayStation 3 version. And my Super Scope. Maybe I'll go up here and see some of my figurines, I guess, since I know people like looking at stuff like that. Here, I'm going to try this. So you can see my Mega Man figurines here with my Mega Man art. And then the little cool Rampage shadow box. My wife found that for me on Etsy. And they had actually a couple different games you could have, but I thought the Rampage one looked best. In case you're curious what's inside here, it's just basically different decks from Magic, a bunch of other game stuff. Like I said, this room here for the house when we purchased it was actually a wood shop. So the previous owner actually he was a huge model train guy, and so he's also very handy like carpenter wise. So I'm pretty sure everything you see, like these cabinets that are in this part of the basement here, were probably built by the owner, and they're really well made. So this one actually has a lock on it, so if I want to lock and secure my decks, that's kind of cool. And to kind of, I guess, build on that a little bit, That's just one of the cool parts of this house is that everything was made with a lot of love in mind. In fact, he had a huge model train when I first moved down here. It took up about half the space of the man cave. So you can imagine that whole space right there where the couch and the game area and where my pinball and arcade one-up machines, that was from about where I'm standing right here to the wall, that was a model train. And it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We ended up selling it to a friend of ours for $500. It probably was worth more than that, but the fact that this person came and picked it up, hauled it out of my basement, and I didn't have to do anything, almost made it worth it by itself. Plus, then the train wasn't just trashed, and that was pretty cool. So that's pretty much my game room. I guess if anybody in the chat has a question about it, please, I guess if you want to ask it, go ahead and I'll answer. But yeah, this is my game room. I don't spend nearly as much time here as I probably should. I spend most of my time upstairs in the living room, but this is my, I guess, man cave space. Here, you can hear the laser war. You can read the thing, turn the bass. Pretty cool. I love the game. If I had a tripod, which I don't, I know Chris has sent me the link for a tripod. One of these days I'll have to play some pinball for you guys. I definitely have gotten a lot better since I purchased the machine about 3 years ago. And this was something that I guess you could say was something I always told myself if I ever had a space for myself that I would purchase a pinball machine. And I am so glad I did that. And it's been a lot of fun. The one thing I love about pinball is that it's a social game. People are just naturally drawn to the machines, and kind of like bowling, whether you're really good or bad, people just have fun with it. No one leaves too angry. I mean, sure, you might miss a shot that you think you should have made, or you feel like you got screwed by the way the ball, just traveled between the two flippers. But, that's just pinball, and that happens. And I think most people accept that. And for the most part, you don't get heckled too much. And I don't know. I think pinball is great. Now, will this be my only machine? Given the space, I could probably fit in one machine, but then I'd have to move my arcade one up, which really is not that big of a deal. The question is where I'd move that. But I'm willing to entertain it. So who knows? Maybe someday I'll have a sister machine to be alongside Laser War. Just pointed to the TV for a bit, so I shut the pinball machine off just because I realized that we don't want the music to be going off while we're streaming the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little. He does. Actually, a good friend of mine who, I don't know if you want to give him credit for kind of convinced me to purchase my own machine, but he was a big part of it. His name's Aaron. Aaron's a really good friend of mine. He's also a Wild fan. That's how I met him, and he's a big pinball enthusiast, and he goes to tournaments too. And I would actually love to try that, even though I would not be very good. I mean, you get to play pinball for fun, and if you win, great. If you don't, you still have the chance to play pinball. So to me, there's not too much of a loss, and you get a chance to play different machines, and you never know. If it's a typical 3-ball machine, you never know what's going to happen. I can tell you many a time that I've gotten down to my last ball, and even though my score was pretty mediocre in that last ball, for whatever reason, everything comes together, and suddenly it's a top 10 score. So that's the cool thing about pinball. You never know necessarily entirely how it's going to unfold. And I mean, you got skill, of course, but luck plays a little bit into it as well in terms of where everything bounces. Things that you don't necessarily have complete control of, and that's part of the beauty of it. So, anyways, NHL '94, which you can see just kind of milling about on autoplay there between the New Jersey Devils and the Detroit Red Wings, which coincidentally is Chris's favorite team. I would never be the Red Wings. No offense, Chris, but I just hate the Red Wings. But anyways, there you see Sergei Fedorov racing down the ice. I discovered Chris's channel through his kind of historic look back on NHL '94, which is really, when you're talking about hockey video games, it's pretty much the gold standard. It's the one that probably still has the longest legacy in terms of loyalty. And I realize people like Blades of Steel and they like NHL or NES ice hockey. And those are good games, but NHL '94 has such an incredible following. I actually just joined the NHL94.com forums, and there are people that are still creating new ROMs for it. You can see a penalty shot goal there by Steve Chiasson. Rest in peace. He passed away about 15 years ago. But anyways, they make new ROMs so you can play with current rosters on there. And I saw a ROM just this weekend where they were bringing the WCHA teams. So people turning it so you can turn it into like college hockey, which I just think is amazing. And the people there are really welcoming. And I never would have known about any of that if I had not watched Chris's video. And Chris tracks the history, talks about, how the game developed and how in some ways a guy who wasn't a hockey fan put it together, and yet he came up with one of the best hockey video games perhaps ever. And that is really kind of where I came to know Chris's channel. And then from there, I've been a loyal member and supporter of his channel ever since. And so that's really my connection to Classic Gaming Quarterly. And of course, now a whole bunch of friends that I've met through the CGQ, I guess you'd say Discord channel, which is what a lot of people enjoy. And so anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to play a tournament. Hopefully I can win the Stanley Cup and not embarrass myself too much. I'm going to shut the lights off just because it'll get rid of the glare of my fluorescent bulbs, which you can see are in the middle of the screen, which would be kind of annoying to watch. And I'll turn the sound on so you can have that. So if there are any other questions, I'll answer them. But otherwise, I'll get down to business in this tournament. So anything from anybody? Again, I'm not like really hunting for compliments or whatever, but if you have a question, I'd love to answer it. Doesn't matter what it's about. I'm a pretty open person. I'm not really worried. And anyways, anybody else have any NHL '94 memories they want to share? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to go shut the lights off. Like I said, if any questions come to your mind, I'll try to keep a little bit of an eye on the chat. And if it means I have to pause to answer the question, I'd want to do that just to be responsive. And again, for those of you that are watching, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. That's the one maybe I've also gained from Chris is that an understanding of just that there really is a community for gaming, and there's a passion for it. And I met so many people that bring different elements to that, and they've shown me games I've never seen or never heard of before, and it's really cool to see. And whether you're really good at video games or not, I don't think it matters. I think we all love it, and for the most part, that's what's more important anyways, is enjoyment, right? So, just to clarify this is the Super Nintendo version of NHL 94. This was the first version that I really played, and I know that Chris, in his video, of course, rates the Sega CD version best. I actually purchased a Sega CD really for the sole purpose of buying NHL 94. So I gotta reset this. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't thinking. So this is played on a Retron 3. It's not emulation. And this is my cartridge I purchased back when I was in high school. I got it for, I want to say $10 or $12 at a record store. Yes, a record store. A place where you bought CDs back in the day. They had records too, but back then CD was the dominant media. So this is NHL 94 for Super Nintendo. And so here's your game menu. We'll go to 5-minute periods. We'll turn penalties on. Line changes. Okay. Let's do new playoffs. And my wife, I gave her the option of picking my team. So we can look at the different teams in the league. I'm just going to go through it quick just in case people aren't familiar with NHL 94. So you have the Anaheim Ducks, which were brand spanking new. Boston Bruins, Buffalo Sabres, Calgary Flames, Chicago Blackhawks, Dallas Stars, because the year before, the Minnesota North Stars moved to Dallas, which was really focus is a bit off. I'm not sure if I really have an ability to mess with the focus on this. With my camera, at least, there's no real mechanism. I don't know if this helps. Does that look any better? Let's see if maybe the angle would help just a little bit. Does that help at all? It comes and goes. It's cool. It's like a person who's like getting a little tipsy or something, I guess. So anyways, Dallas Stars. Absolutely hate Dallas because the North Stars left for there, and I still hate them to this day. The Detroit Red Wings, we already mentioned, that's Chris's favorite team. Edmonton Oilers. Florida Panthers. They were a fairly new team. They would actually make the Stanley Cup shortly into their second season. They got swept by the Colorado Avalanche, though, which Hartford Whalers. That's the team that we're going to be for this tournament. That's the team my wife chose. Los Angeles Kings, Montreal Canadiens, New Jersey Devils, New York Islanders, which, by the way, they're going back to Long Island, so that's cool for them because being at Barclays Center, even though it's a new arena, is horrible for hockey. The New York Rangers, Ottawa Senators, which were a new team, and at this point, they were horrible. The last NHL game that I went to for the North Stars was in their final season. They played against the first-year Ottawa Senators, and Ottawa was pretty bad. I think they only won like 10 games. They're one of the worst teams ever in NHL history. Not the worst. The worst was the Washington Capitals back in the day. Philadelphia, there you see Eric Lindros. That's a Legion of Doom right at the start. Pittsburgh Penguins. Minnesota fans don't like them very much because they beat the North Stars in their last Stanley Cup run. Quebec Nordiques. This was actually the team I first played when I played this game back in the day. And of course, they moved to Colorado and became the Avalanche and won a Stanley Cup in their first season in Colorado. Must have been nice, huh? New team shows up and they win a championship. San Jose Sharks. They were pretty rough in their first few years too, but surprisingly competitive. Yeah. Eric Lindros was interesting. I hated Eric Lindros because he was originally drafted by the Quebec Nordiques, and he effectively said, "I'm not going to play for you," and so that forced the Nordiques, or sorry, forced the Nordiques to trade him, and the Flyers gave the Nordiques a mint for him, and that would end up fueling what eventually be the Colorado Avalanche for years. They got like Peter Forsberg and a whole bunch of stuff, and it ended up working out pretty good for this future Colorado franchise. But I just hated that he thought he was too good for Quebec. May have kept them in Quebec. That's what makes me mad. But anyways, St. Louis Blues, of course, they're your current defending Stanley Cup champions. Tampa Bay Lightning. Heard some funny stories about their early years. I won't go into it, but they played actually at like a fairgrounds in their first year, and I guess it smelled pretty bad. So same with the San Jose Sharks. They played in what used to be called the Cow Palace or something like that, and I guess it smelled like cow crap all the time, which I'm sure that had to have been bizarre. Toronto Maple Leafs, not the Pot Leafs. Vancouver Canucks. Supposedly they're bringing back a jersey that is like the flying skate again. There's Pablo Bure. The Washington Capitals and Winnipeg Jets, which of course left for Arizona, and now the Arizona Coyotes. But then Winnipeg ended up getting the Atlanta Thrashers, so they ended up coming back. But it's a different organization because it was Atlanta, not the original. So strangely enough, the franchise is still, there's two different franchises that have been to Winnipeg, even though they're both still called the Jets. And there you have it. So, like I said, we're going to be Hartford. So you can see that we're playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. Perfect. This would be there you see Ron Barr of EA Sports. You can see that Mario Lemieux's 100 in the game. There weren't too many hundreds in this game, but Pittsburgh was pretty damn loaded. Yager is only an 80. He's got a sweet mullet, though. He was the last of the NHL 94 guys to play the league. He lasted the longest. Okay, so they obviously think Pittsburgh's going to win. So we'll have to see how well we do here. I am definitely not an elite pro in this game. I'm okay. We'll see what happens. So there's Ann Castles off the post. Off the post again. Offsides. We do have line changes on, so I will be cycling through lines. They don't do on-the-fly line changes. At least like real NHL would be. You wait for a stoppage and then it's Ron Francis. Oh, no. Yeah, that's Ron Francis. Oh, this could be bad. Close. Oh, terrible. 1-0 Pittsburgh. See, I lost somebody. Oh, wow. This would be embarrassing to lose in a tournament. I have to admit, it's kind of funny. I would say I feel a little bit of pressure from being watched. Oh. Philadelphia Flyers, I always like their jerseys. I have a Flyers jersey. I don't know. I used to think they were cool just because the Flyers always seemed badass, and they always loved rough style hockey, and not that that's really the prettiest thing, obviously, to watch, but you had to kind of respect it, I guess, on some level, even though at times it was probably pretty dirty, especially in like the 70s when they had Bobby Clark and Dave the Hammer Schultz. Woo! There you go. Pat Verbeek, the little ball of hate. Well, that ice is melting. It's melting quite a bit. It's actually really sad. They actually are having Penguins now go to like getting lost because the game that they eat. Oh, that's 3 posts. Take that. 1-1 game after one between Hartford and Pittsburgh. So this is the first of the tournament. The those that are tuning in. Yeah. But no, they're actually getting lost and they're washing ashore in like South America because they're like confused by the warming water temperatures, and it's really kind of messing with the food chain. There you go, knock the guy out. And you get a penalty for that, just for making a clean hit. That's crap. So Hartford's on the penalty kill. So are you a Flyers fan then? Or no? Or don't you care? Nice shot, Andrew Castles. 2-1, shorthanded goal. That's devastating to the Pittsburgh crowd. As we're at Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh, it would be, not the Consol Energy Center or whatever the hell it is now. Marlon Muse got it. Now it's over to Kevin Stevens. Of course. Then Mario does it, just as I said. Hey, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that, they don't give two craps about the league, but they love playing the NHL video games because they just find them entertaining. They think the action is fast-paced, which it is. Big goal by Jeff Sanderson. Jeff Sanderson is one of my favorite players in this game. He's probably the best guy that Hartford has. Launched into the bench. That's the best. But I can tell you this, from being out there, that is scary when you get knocked into your bench like that. Especially if you flip over because you got a bunch of skate blades like in your face. And those things are sharp. Doesn't take much to get a pretty serious injury. As some of you may have seen if you watched the game or my man cave tour, that my favorite team's the Minnesota Wild. Oh, big goal there, 4-2. Patrick Poulin. Nice. Big late period goal there with less than 20 seconds left. Skating's fun. I wasn't very good at it, but it's fun to do. As a kid growing up in Minnesota, I think I first went on the ice maybe when I was like 2 or 3 years old. And as a lot of kids, you start off wearing, at least even for young boys, you actually start out usually by wearing figure skates. So I had a pair of girls' skates, and they also had like kind of like trainer skates, which actually have 2 blades on them. So it's easier, you're more stable. Oh. Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, I don't know. I always felt like I had more control on the ice than I did on wheels. I would say I only rollerbladed a handful of times, and I felt like that was more. I felt like I was more out of control with a pair of rollerblades than I was with ice skates. Ice skates, I felt like I could control my speed. I mean, the one thing, of course, with rollerblading is that you're not really on a flat surface most of the time. Probably. I mean, you might have hills. Oh, almost was able to dangle that backhander. Oh, killing time pretty well. Pretty good forecheck. Oh, off the post. Probably should have went with my scoring line number 1 there, but see if my checkers can get it done. Oh. I'll get my scorers out there now. They're likely to pull their goalie as soon as they can. Keeping good pressure here, though. Oh, buried. Fortunately, they just took my best skater probably for roughing. It looks like Hartford's in pretty good shape with 17 seconds left. There we have it, 4-2. Hartford prevails, first Stars of the game, Castles, Sanderson, and Poulin. So we swept the Stars of the game, and we're moving on in the playoffs. Not on this one. At least I'm trying to think if there's any ambulance sound for Genesis. I'm not sure. I never hit anybody that hard in Genesis, to be perfectly honest. Or Sega CD, for that matter. So there's your code if you wanted to remember it. But I don't know about you, but did they really need a code that long? I mean, it's not like you're looking for the nuclear launch codes or something. It's just a tournament and a sports game. But whatever. So now we advance. We're playing the Montreal Canadiens in the second round, or the semifinals here for the Eastern Conference. And again, we're the underdog. Montreal's favored. Yes, they did. One of the worst was Fazanadu or Faxanadu, however you want to pronounce it. That had I want to say 4 columns of 4 letters or numbers. It's like really you needed that much of a code. But I think a lot of us, back in those days had like a code book, like a little notepad or whatever that you inscribed all your precious codes into, especially in the NES era. Brass Bonanza, one of the most iconic hockey theme songs ever. Pretty cool. Jack Say was the composer for that, and it was thrown into a highlights tape and the people liked it so much, then it just kind of became the theme song for the Hartford Whalers for the rest. I want to say the highlight tape came out in the late 70s. And like I said, people liked it so much, then it became like the official theme song of the team. And in some ways, Brass Bonanzas, oh wow, 1-0 Montreal, ugly. Gilbert Dion. So there we have it. Just like last game, the Penguins took the early lead, and then I rallied back. So let's see if I can do it again. Had pretty good speed from this defenseman. My own guy, I think, helped block that. Oh, nice shot. Yvon Corriveau, 1-1. Dump the puck in. Stephane LeBeau, 2-1. Not good. Not good. Got to answer back. Post. Got a penalty. And it's on Kirk Muller, so hopefully I can answer on the power play here. Let my team get on sides here. It's Patrick Roy on net, by the way. So you guys don't know that. Hall of Famer Patrick Roy. It was after the 94 season that he ended up demanding to be traded and was traded to eventually what would be the Quebec Nordiques, and eventually they became the Colorado Avalanche. So they got that Hall of Fame goalie, and that's who helped lead them to that cup right away. So far, the post and Patrick Roy's got the best of me. 6 seconds, not much here. And Montreal's going to carry a 2-1 lead going into the first intermission. Got to pick it up. So here we are in the second period. It's because we want to hear some more crappy fake organ on the Super Nintendo. My own guys keep going off sides. Frustrating. Back to Brass Bonanza. Trying to rally music here. Oh, wow, what a goal there. Doug Huda. Yeah, I hate offsides too. In fact, I hate it in all sports. I hate it in soccer too, just because I always felt it was so cheap. And I say that as a person who played soccer and I played defense, and part of what you practice was like how to draw people off sides, and it always seemed kind of weak to me. My God, what the hell am I doing? Montreal takes the lead right back on a terribly boneheaded mistake by Sean Burke. Well, actually me, but Sean Burke gets the credit on this one. I always like the after the whistle stuff that you can get away with all the time. That was always something you'd terrorize the computer. Oh, nice goal there. Patrick Poulan. Let's see if I can take the lead. Come on. Put my top scoring line out there. Computer's offsides. I'll take it that time because he was going right down the middle and there was no defense to be seen. Oh, Andrew Castles. 4-3. What a game. Got some lead changes this period. Vinny Dampoose got destroyed. Alan Peterson's going to sit in the box. Got to keep these guys. Got to keep my lead going into the third. Come on. That'd have been awesome if he'd scored. I've never had a goalie goal in this game. That would be something. Sean Burke could get a goal. Okay, third period. I'm up by 1. Starting the period on the penalty kill. Isn't necessarily the best for me, but could be worse. I think I just got another penalty. Cross-checking, Aaron Reinrich. Yeah, give him a 2-man advantage. So it's 5-on-3 now for the next at least minute. It'll go by quick. I'll just skate around here. Kill time. Oh, little showboat in there. They go off sides, and it was like a 3-on-1. Yeah, you can do manual goalie where you're in control of him like another player, and I don't do that. I know some people prefer it that way, but that's just one more person I'd have to control, and I don't really want to. I can kind of move him around. Like if he has the puck, I can decide whether he passes it or, kind of where he moves once he has it. But that's what they call automatic. But for the most part, without the puck, he's doing his own movement. Ow, I got tagged. So I'm going to be out with my top center for the rest of the period. That sucks. But I do have a power play, so hopefully I could take advantage of this and give myself some cushion. Oh, got an early chance by of course, because it's a power play, they can dump the puck the full length of the ice without worry of icing. icing the puck. I'm just trying to make it so I don't make some stupid mistake. So I'm almost defending as much as I'm trying to go on the attack here. Oh, almost stuck it in there. Oh, I have an empty net, as you can see. And we got it. Eat that one out. 4-3, Hartford wins. Wow, that was way closer than it really should have been. But hey, we advanced. That's all that matters, right? So now we're on to the conference final. Winner gets to play for the Stanley Cup. Simple as that. So here we are. Hartford gets to play the New York Islanders in the Eastern Conference Final, and you can see Vancouver and Los Angeles in the West. Can we make it there? If you want to copy that on that code so you don't have to go through this yourself, go ahead. We're going to move on. Ooh, evenly matched teams. What are we going to do with that? Not sure I can ever remember seeing that for the conference final. So here we are back in Hartford again. With my Whalers logo, one of the coolest logos in hockey, even though they don't exist anymore. I do have a Hartford Whalers jersey. Pierre Turgeon goes to the penalty box, and Whalers get a power play early. Not bad. I'll take that. Just gumming it up right now. Welcome to the stream. This is NHL 94 on Super Nintendo. In case you didn't catch it, they're trying to kill a penalty, so part of the reason, that was a terrible pass. Not doing much with this power play, that's for sure. Tight one, which is, I guess, is what you'd expect if two evenly matched teams like this matchup is. At least it's supposed to be. Keep passing to the damn other team. Pisses me off. Offsides is starting to get annoying. Got 3 people watching now. So I'm the Hartford Whalers. Obviously, I'm not doing that great, but still nothing. Thought I had a one-timer all queued up. Oh, there we go. 1-1. Yeah, I think you can do penalties, but no offsides. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case in NHL 94. I know for sure it's the case in NHL 95. So here we go, 0-0 after one. See if I do better going down instead of going up. Sometimes stupid line mates are pulling offsides all the time. Oh, probably my best chance of the night right there. A good chance. Just got crushed. It's getting physical now. Teams are getting angry. Icing. Got a penalty already. It's on the Islanders. They got a holding penalty on Benoit Hogue. Gotta use this power play. Come on. Oh, there you go. Pat Herbie power play goal. 1-0. Break the stalemate. Oh, man. Pierre Turgeon with a backhander. 1-1. Be terrible if this game was simple, right? I wish I could say I was blaming on the AI. I don't think that was it. It was just terrible defense. And I would put that on the player, not anything else. Uh, 1-1 after one, so nothing really decided. So we'll see if someone can get the edge in the third period. Oh, big goal there, 2-1. Nice forecheck by Castles to win that race for the corner for the puck. I will totally admit, I don't know if any of you guys did this as kids. I would provide my own play-by-play when I was a little kid. And I know that's actually, believe it or not, how a lot of broadcasters, especially those that I guess you could say are of a certain age, that's kind of how they got started. They did play-by-play as they were playing, Blades of Steel, or they're damn right, Eric. Let's go Hartford indeed. Long live the whale. Oh, terrible pass. Ooh, that was brutal. getting physical. Oh, nice goal. Dave Ketchmer. That's like having a defenseman with wheels that can add to the offense. It's like another forward out there. Little brass bonanza. Oh, terrible pass. Woo! How did he stop that one-timer? You know the computer's going for blood when it sets up a one-timer. Trucked him pretty good there. Woo! 3-1 Hartford late in this game. Yeah, I used to do play-by-play. I don't know. Somehow, I guess you could say that made it feel more real or more authentic in a weird way. And I don't know. That was always something I thought would be a cool career to have. I don't know. Got tied up at the worst possible moment. Oh, Steve Thomas. Whew, it's going to be a nail biter the last 33 seconds. Oh, they pulled their goalie. They got an extra attacker. They're throwing it all out there. Ketchmer with the nail in the coffin on the empty netter. 4-2 Hartford. Such drama. Eric, in case you didn't know, this is the Eastern Conference Final. The winner goes on to play for the Stanley Cup. And it's approaching Ketchmer. Yeah, he was our stud of the game. 2 goals, including the game winner and really the insurance goal. So, here we go. How about that? 4-2 Hartford wins over New York Islanders. The Whale advances. And for those that are in the what-if game, what would have happened if Hartford managed to get a Stanley Cup? Would they still be in Hartford instead of playing in Carolina? I think that's an interesting what-if to consider. So here we have it, the Hartford Whalers versus the Los Angeles Kings. You can copy that quote if you want it. Playing for the Stanley Cup. This is for you, Chris. Oh, Ron Barr thinks the Kings have got this one. Oh, Wayne Gretzky, the great one. But you can see Wayne Gretzky, he wasn't 100 in this game. I mean, this is kind of getting closer to toward the end-ish of his career. He wasn't. I mean, Mario Lemieux was 100 in this game, and he wasn't. But still, a lot of talent on that team. Kelly Hrudey, the pride of Hockey Night in Canada now. So here we go. Giddy up. And we're playing in Los Angeles. Just buried the great one there. Should have had a goal there. Enjoying the absolutely horrible Oregon. Oh, big goal there. Mark Jansen's 1-0, the Whale, leading the Kings. That was an absolutely stupid pass. My coach would have killed me if I would have done what that guy just did. Throwing it right out in front of the net. Through the middle of the ice on a diagonal pass. That's a absolute cardinal sin in hockey. Off the boards to himself. Not bad to free himself up. Just couldn't get away from Rob Blake. Pretty good save there by Sean Burke. Sean Burke would later be a goalie coach with the he might still be the goalie coach, but no, he's not, I think. He used to be the goalie coach for the Arizona Coyotes. That should have been a goal too. Dun, dun. Oh, nice goal there. Mark Jansen's again. He's clutch performer. That's his second goal of the game. 2-0 Hartford. Oh. Oh, almost. Backhander by Sanderson. Two nothing Hartford after one. This is the Stanley Cup Finals here in apparently 1994 because it's NHL 94. Okay, here we go. Second period. Take that, great one. Oh, get up. Okay, got a tripping call on Alexei Zhitnik. That's a cool name, isn't it? Remember Alexei Zhitnik more when he played for the Buffalo Sabres. Oh, man. I thought I had it. Marty McSorley. Big power play for Hartford to start this period. If I can get a 3-goal edge, I'm probably sitting pretty. Kelly Hrudey's just going to freeze it. Nice goal. Doug Ketchmer. He's been a stud, or Dave Ketchmer. He's been a stud for me. 3-0. Big power play goal there. Still early-ish third or second period. Because we're just doing 5-minute periods here. Got to step up as they try to lead their own end. Oh, big goal there. Eric Weinrich. 4-0 Hartford. Commanding lead here in the Stanley Cup Final. 2:22. Make a wish. Just kidding. Oh, off the post. It's the second post, the same guy, too. Force them offsides by checking them into the zone. That's how you do it. Oh. Guy went ass over tea kettle on that one. Oh. Good check there. I want to say this is Sean Hill. No, it's not Sean Hill. Adam Burt, maybe. Well, 4-0 going into the third period. Roof Cat. Ah. Little skiing on the ice there. So I drew a penalty. That was Zarly Zalapski. Luke Robitaille. Lucky Luke. Not so lucky this time. Okay, that's not funny, but whatever. Everyone loves lame jokes. No, they don't. Oh. Draw another penalty. Penalty shot. Oh my gosh. Wow, rare event here. That was a horse shit attempt. That was terrible. Had kind of an idea what I wanted to do and didn't nearly execute it. Good hit there on the great one. Oh, there you go. That's a dagger. Robert Cron, 5-0 with less than 2 minutes left in the third period. Hartford in control, and you could say the Stanley Cup is being polished right now. Oh, 6-0. The wheels have come off for Los Angeles. Peterson scores. You guys are going to have to tell me more about Roof Cat. Now, is that the cat that normally sits in your couch, Moth Boy? Your wife's trying to capture. Oh, so take it to vet. Oh, well, that's cool. We had kind of a wandering cat around here. They really encourage us not to do stuff like that in this part of, at least in rural Wisconsin, because they say that they often have rabies. And I realize you want to take them to the vet and stuff, but they don't even encourage you to like even interact. Like, I know standard farm policy is typically people shoot them, and I know a lot of people think that's really terrible, but they say that they are almost universally always cause problems. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that's what people do, at least in our neck of the woods. Ah, 14 seconds left. Just get it over with. Kind of figured he came to the window. And there you have it. Stanley Cup champions, Hartford Whalers. What a great what-if story, right? What would have happened? Now, there you see the Stanley Cup on the ice. Everyone's celebrating it. Not sure who that is that has it first. I'm going to guess it's Andrew Castles. But there you go. No, Gretzky did not get hurt, although I did tag him pretty good, and then he was pretty much a non-factor. But there you have it. Hartford, Stanley Cup champions. Would they have stayed in Hartford had they won the Stanley Cup? I don't know. I don't know. That's a great what if. I say the same thing about the Minnesota North Stars. If we had managed to beat Pittsburgh in 1991, what would have happened? Would we have left for Dallas, or would we have stuck around? I'm going to turn the lights on. Yeah, thanks a lot. The funny part was the road to the Stanley Cup was much tougher than the final game itself. Maybe I didn't show you guys this. I'll turn the music off. Maybe I didn't show you this part of the man cave. So there's my fat head of the Minnesota Wild logo. It's about almost 3 feet. Actually, it was pretty simple to apply. It's just basically almost like a giant sticker, vinyl sticker, and you can see it came with a smaller Wild sticker there, so that looks pretty good. Then I have some artwork, and of course the Stanley Cup, because we just won the Stanley Cup. Some artwork. That picture, actually right over here, that's actually Phil and Tony Esposito, Hall of Famers. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, Bobby Orr up there with the little mini Stanley Cup. If you guys remember the NHL lockout in 2004-05, when fans actually returned back to the league, the first night the league-wide handed out little mini Stanley Cups to all the fans for, I guess you'd say, thanking them for coming back and returning. And my wife happened to go to that game, and so she got the little mini Stanley Cup there. So kind of a unique fan giveaway that they had that time. You can see my pennants here, the North Stars, the Wild, and another one for like the greatest fans. We're pretty cheesy, I guess, in Minnesota. I was going to say that the first year that I was here, or the first year that the Minnesota Wild were in existence, at their first home game, they retired the number 1 to the fans, which Wild fans thinks that's terribly tacky and dorky. So we have a retired number, but it's not really given to any person. It's just the fans, and a lot of people think that it was really cheesy, to say the least. So I realize the stream's really not all that long, just a little over an hour. Hopefully you enjoyed the Man Cave tour. So if you missed it, you can watch it at the beginning of the stream. Again, happy birthday to Chris Alaimo. I hope you enjoyed yourself this day. And the Stanley Cup win was just for you, pal. And with that, I guess we'll see you guys next time. Take care.